Zach Barnes here, welcome back to the channel, and today we are taking a look at the NUX NPK-10. Now, NUX, new, not sure. Never heard of this company, but I decided to try it. I'm just taking a look at keyboards that are 500 and less, 500 and under. So I know nothing about this brand, just popped it open, and just for those who don't know, I do my reviews kind of practical. So we look at the build quality, which is the overall chassis, the quality of the accessories like sustain pedals and the key bed. Then we look at sound, which is like the internal sound engine, as well as how the sound gets delivered. And last but not least, we look at extra features. So let's go ahead and just get right to it. Build quality. This is solid. It's a great feeling keyboard. It's a great looking keyboard. The weight is nice. The size of it is really slim. So it's very like approachable, very manageable in terms of weight and heft. Hard plastic like all of them. I actually, out of all the keyboards I've reviewed so far, all of them have really good build quality. This one though, I will say in terms of aesthetics, I think this one and the Alesis Prestige Artist, they look the best. Like the Alesis has that nice, what do you call it, raised panel. This one has like this nice kind of like black gloss panel here at the top. It does get fingerprints on it, but that's not, you know, it's easily removable and it's not like a high touch surface. So it does give a premium feel to it. And the key bed has like this kind of texture on it. So it makes for a very pleasant and aesthetic looking piano. I will say that. But yeah, build quality, it's an A, not surprising there. They all seem to be really high quality these days. The key bed though is another story. As you know, I really take these key beds seriously. So I would say this key bed is definitely A class. It kind of reminds me of the Roland FP10. So the Yamaha, so let me kind of recap. In terms of key bed and tiers, for A class, we have the Yamaha P143, we have the Roland FP10, we have the Casio SP160 or something like that, and this NUX NPK-10. These key beds to me are all A tier key beds. So if you're a beginner, you're just getting in, you're not gonna have any problems with this key bed. Yeah, feels great, inspiring to play, passes. And I want to say though, I didn't really talk about all the speakers in the other one just because they all sounded fine. This is the first keyboard where I felt like the speakers didn't hit the mark, and it's not because they don't pack power. And I don't know if, I honestly don't even know where they're coming from. I'm not sure if they're down-firing speakers, but they just sound muffled, like it's missing top end. So this is the first time that I played a piano where the onboard speakers we're missing some top end, so I would count that as part of the build quality. So as far as the key bed and the chassis, this is a solid A, but I do wish the inbuilt speakers had more top end. They just sounds like someone's got their hands over my ears. So like muddy's kind of the sound. So anyways, now I am recording this video through the interface, so you guys won't be hearing that, which is cool. I'll kind of get to that later. That's a big deal. Now, as far as build quality, this is the A tier keyboard. If you're concerned with this brand and like, hey, is it just well made and well built? Resounding yes. The key bed is actually really nice. I like it a lot. It's fast, it's responsive. Repeats really good. Arpeggios suck, but it feels good under the fingers. Yeah, it feels good. Yeah, it feels really good. So Keybed is actually really excellent. I gotta say, I've been really shocked because the Casio SP160 or whatever was really good Keybed. This is a really nice key bed, and I guess I just, you know, growing up, Yamaha and Roland were always the it, and I'm like, man, these companies have really come a long way, because the Casio was my favorite keyboard out of all of them, but now touching this one, it feels like a more refined version of the Casio, so this actually might be my favorite key bed. I think this and the Yamaha might be my top 2 favorite key beds. Anyways, so I don't want to spoil the end. So build quality, resounding A. Speakers are kind of they're loud, they project well, but in terms of muffledness and muddy, they don't have enough clarity for my preference. Moving on is the sound. So this right here, right, this is the sound engine. It's good. There's no complaints. It doesn't have that. What I like about this piano sound, it doesn't have that 90s Korg Triton feel to it. Nothing wrong with the Triton, but that board came out like 2001. It doesn't have that rinky-dink feel to it. Because the Elise has kind of had that 90s piano quality feel. This actually sounds modern. So it has a nice sound to it. Is it like the best? None of these keyboards at the 500 unrange are amazing sounding. So let's just get that out of the way. It just comes down to, does it sound good enough, and at least is inspiring. And so I feel that this is an inspiring sound. I would give this a solid B+. Now I think also too, because I'm listening to it through the speakers and not through the interface, there's probably a little bit of a discrepancy there because it might actually sound better on the interface. I don't know. So I'm going to find out. I'd love to know. Put your comments below. Like, do you like the sound of this piano? All right, now, great piano sound or good piano sound, however you want to take that. The next one is sound delivery. Now, this is really, really important because it doesn't matter how great the piano sounds if you can't get it out right. So the speakers being a little bit on the muffle side, that's a problem. The reason why is if you're buying this piano, you probably want the onboard speakers. So it doesn't matter how great it sounds recorded if like your personal experience isn't good. And that's actually kind of a big deal because you want to be able to sit down and play and just feel good about it. So it feels amazing to play, and the piano sound isn't bad, but the speakers do take away from the experience. It's not as rich or as open as I would prefer. There's something, like I said, it feels like muffled. So the sound delivery, speakers matter. The second way to get sound out of this is headphones. We've got headphone jacks up here. Thankfully, we have two, which is great. So you can, obviously hook up two headphones and people can practice and play together. Now, even though the speakers aren't the best, they do give you a left and right auxiliary out, which is amazing. So this one and the Prestige are the only ones that do that, which I don't know why the others don't. And that's a big deal because we're talking about gigs now. That means this keyboard is giggable. You can take this, hook it up to a PA system, hook it up to a loudspeaker, hook it up to like an amp, and you can gig with it. So that's a big deal if you're somebody who wants to take this keyboard out and gig. And then, of course, we get the headphones, like I said before. So we got quite different options. We have the onboard speakers. We have the headphone jacks, double. And then we also have the 1/4-inch outputs, left and right. So we have stereo out. That's amazing. So that's sound delivery. Speakers, good, but they're so-so. But we do have speakers at least. Then on the next category, we have special features. Now, I pulled up my iPad for this one because why guess? Let's just go ahead and read it off. This one I need the manual for because there's only a few buttons here, but apparently it has all this other extra stuff. So I want to kind of go over that with you guys. So we have up to 12 built-in tones, which is cool. They do have reverb and delay, which is nice. So there's reverb and delay here, and you can hear it. There's some reverb there. We have tone brilliance, dual. So we have layering and dual. So you can split and layer, which is great. Twin piano, which means we can have the same octave in the same octave in two different places, which is amazing for students and teaching. Can't recommend that enough. Bluetooth audio, which is great audio and MIDI, as well as the USB over MIDI, which is standard, so you can hook up to keyboard libraries. It's got rhythm in here, metronome. It's got recording, which is amazing. That's a really good extra feature, especially when you want to practice and judge yourself, critique yourself. Preset memory, interesting. That's cool. Speakers, 10 watts each. So yeah, in terms of special features, these have a really great set. I'm trying to remember off memory, forgive me. The Roland FP10 was pretty basic in special features. It has the app you can hook it up with, and it's got a metronome, but it didn't have like a lot to it in terms of like I'm a big fan of recording because, again, depending on who you are, being able to either listen back to yourself to critique yourself, or if you're just trying to be engaging, especially for children, recording function is really nice. But just in terms of special features, this is a B+, A-, because I'm trying to think what else could you possibly add. So definitely B+, A- in terms of special features. This has all the extra goodies, which I think makes for a better overall digital piano experience. Obviously, the piano tone is the most important. The overall piano tone is great, but to have the extra tones to experiment with is great for inspiration. I'm a really huge fan of the split octave because I have kids, and if you're a teacher and I teach, it's great to be able to split it up. Someone can be here, someone can be here, so they have space, but they actually have the same register for practice purposes. That's amazing. And then I do like the fact that, like I said, you can record. That's a really highly underrated engagement feature. So again, if you're either new to piano or you have children that are learning, the ability to create is really important because it fosters engagement and fosters further creativity. And I don't know how many times one of my sons is like, hey dad, I recorded something new, come check out my new song. It just makes them feel that much more proud of their work and what they're learning. They can actually take what they're learning and make something out of it. So that's an underrated feature. Again, you're buying this for the piano experience, and for that it's good. And then you got the special features that just make it extra nice. So let's just kind of go ahead and talk about who this keyboard is for and how I kind of rate it against some of the others. So far I've played and reviewed the Yamaha 143, the Roland FP10, the Elise's Artist Stage, I think it's called. I can't, so many keyboards I can't remember. The Casio SP160, and then now this NUX NPK-10. So in terms of blatant portability, I would say the Casio and this one are the most portable, with the Roland being after that and the Yamaha being after that, and the Elisa Studio Prestige after that. This thing is light and it's tiny, small, and compact, very similar to the Casio, but maybe a little bit deeper, but this is also more premium looking than the Casio. Like this looks, if you want an aesthetic piano to go in your house, to be in the living room something, this is a better fit. Like this and the Elises are the prettiest of the bunch. The gloss black panel really does it well. So if you want a digital piano to look good for aesthetics and also give a good playing experience, this one and the Elises do really well with that. If you want a piano to just use around the house for practice, honestly, anything will do. But in terms of keybed feel, again, this is a clear winner, Class A keybed. So if that matters, especially if you're into like classical, or if you're just trying to be a serious player. If you're trying to be a serious player, you want a proper keybed to make sure that you're learning well and that you're developing good technique. And I always recommend it weighted. And this one feels good, fast, responsive, and active. It's got good dynamics and good pressure feel. And it's so light on the finger. So I like this keybed a lot, and it's kind of surprising because, like I said, I'm so used to Yamaha and Roland being king that it's like, man, these other companies are really coming up. So again, if you're looking to really get good at piano and you really want to take your technique seriously, this is a great keybed. The Roland FP10 is a great keybed. The Yamaha P143 is a great keybed. Casio is a good keybed. The SP160 or something like that. If you are a beginner musician and you simply want to have fun and be inspired and engaged, I recommend these ones with the nice features because they come in handy. So this one or the Elises, I feel like have really good extra features that give you a really well-rounded experience, but this one has the better keybed than the Elises and a better sounding piano. So that's a tough one. The Elises I gave as the best overall budget piano, but I feel like this keybed and sound module trump the Elises one. But the Elises has a couple extra features like arpeggio and a little bit nicer aesthetic. So it's almost a toss-up just depending on where you lean. But if this to me would be the best overall portable situation because it sounds good, it feels good, it's got a premium look, and it's easily portable. So it's a lot of tough competition, honestly, in these sub 500 keyboards. If you are a professional like myself, why would you want a keyboard like this? This is a great beater, great take it around town, take it around the house. It's got the built-in speakers. I said in my last video that the Casio was one of my favorite, and this is actually giving it a run for its money. Mainly because I like the aesthetic of it. That does inspire me. I don't know why, but like a nice looking piano is inspiring to play for some reason. So this is very inspiring to play and look at. I would say, man, it really comes down to like, I would say honestly, it comes down to like, are you trying to be a serious musician to progress? More of a serious pianist, and like what kind of genre, right? So if you're trying to go strictly classical, you want to just get the best key bed and the best piano sound. So this would do, the Roland would do, and so would the Yamaha. Those will all do great for just straight up like, hey, I want to play classical and I want a nice piano sound and I want a great feeling key bed to grow into. These do fine. If you want to be an all-around keyboardist, they all feel great with the Alesis being the only B-tier keybed and sound module. So you really can take any one of them and it'll give you a great experience. If you're trying to gig, that's where the differentiations come in, because now you need to have 1/4 inch outs. This one has it. The Casio doesn't, unfortunately. So this one and the Alesis and the Yamaha are the only ones with 1/4 inch outs. This and Alesis have true stereo 1/4 inch outs, so they're truly giggable. The Yamaha has a 1/4 inch headphone out, which you can use. But this would be the best overall gigging keyboard for a beginner, because you have the double 1/4 inch outs, you have a really good piano sound, and then of course you have the onboard speakers, and you have the ability to practice the metronome as well as to record yourself, the Bluetooth capability. So this would be the best all-arounder in terms of like session musician or keyboardist that wants to grow. And I think that's about it. So if you want to be able to record, this is a good board. If you want to, have a great keyboard and great sound, this is a good board. If you want portability, this is a great board. If you want it to look nice, this is a great board. So this is, like I said, this is so far my favorite all around, kind of like just all around. And that's kind of surprising. I've never heard of this company. I don't even know how to say the name right, but this is a great all around keyboard. Yeah, it's a great sounding keyboard, a great feeling keyboard. It's under 500. Let me get the exact price for y'all. This one is clocking in at $499. So this one and the Alesis are both $499. Casio, I think, was $479. The Yamaha P143 and the Roland FP10 are usually $499, but sometimes they're $399 depending on the sale. So man, drop your comments below on another keyboard you want me to review, or any other questions or comparisons you might have. It really is tough competition, y'all. I mean, at this point, it's like, man, who's really the king of the land? I really don't know. So if you need some help deciding, feel free to drop a comment below. I will do my best to help guide you in the right direction. Ultimately, it's your decision, but I will say I'm impressed with the build quality and the keybed feel and the piano sound, and those to me are the most important things. You want to be able to it should be inspiring to play and inviting to play. It should sound good while you play, and it should also hold up and last. And it's got all the essential features, and it does those essential features with an A. So I would consider this an A grade keyboard. If you were considering the Yamaha P143 and you decide to buy this instead, I would not think you're crazy. In a lot of ways, I like this one more than the Yamaha. Especially the piano sound. This piano sound. I don't know. I find this keyboard pretty inspiring to play. So, and if you bought this over the Roland, I wouldn't think you're crazy either. So that's saying a lot. So good job, NUX, whatever you are called. I'll look you up later. I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, stay saucy.